Yeah, I got the logs off a while back. So you can see the design of this thing. But it's pretty simple in concept. Got these chains so you can unhook, flip the chain over, and then so you're unhooking it on the side that's opposite from the direction that the logs are going to roll off, so that you're not getting squished by logs coming off. Anyway, but here I can give a better demonstration. This is a dump bed. So you can see, I think if I were to have it made again, I probably would have had them build it with the axles on top of the springs, and then have them make a metal pocket above the tires so that the tires could come up, because the top of the tires right now is hardly somewhere in here at the most, and they built it with a 1.5 foot overhang. I think if I was going to have it done again, I'd probably go 2 foot, but to get that, better part of 4 inches, whatever, 4 or 5 inches lower if the axles were on the other side. And the tires get old, I might do it myself. Just make some steel and where this one board is here, and make a pocket so that the tires can, if there's any rocking action in the tires can go up. It's the first one they ever made with a deck over dump, so I feel like this front edge could use a little more, reinforcement, maybe some bracing between here and the next one back, and then you can anchor it to this cross piece. So then if you're attaching something onto the front of the trailer, such as a winch or whatever, or a mounted pulley, and you have a cable hooked onto something and it comes up through the pulley and then back down to something that's pulling on the cable to pull whatever up onto the trailer, you wouldn't have to worry about that bending, because the way that is right now, I would say it wouldn't take very much to bend that. And we custom ordered it, and we didn't specify side pockets, so if you don't specify something on a custom order, you don't get it. So it will definitely work. I just, now that we've got it and I've used it a little bit, I can definitely see a few design improvements. So the log bunks, there's 4 bolts down through the decking, that we put, and then I put these 2x down. There's 2x on the inside. That was a bit of a problem. These kind of scraped a little bit as I rocked the stakes over. They were hitting on the boards. That is an airplane flying over. Could very well be ODF, fire season and all. But not much to this log rack. It's just basically I-beam for these cross pieces. Got flat bar. This can't be regular cable. He had to have gotten some kind of a special rust resistance cable, because this cable is literally been out in the weather for at least 2 decades, if not 3 decades. So I don't know what it's made of, aircraft cable or what, but it's definitely not rusting. These, yeah, those are I-beams as well. That's a chunk of flat bar put in. That's just the hook. The hook welded in there. And then there's a slot here. So you can see there's a slot for it to catch in there. If I can hold the camera straight. And it burnt a hole. Because anything that's above this point is where the logs are. So you can't run anything across there. So when you go to pull the side stakes over, you know, they would potentially be pinched under a log. So you can't, everything has to run below that level. Yeah, you know, the idea of flipping the axles to get it 4 or 5 inches lower. We didn't specify a 18-foot hoist. Another side effect of special ordering something, and they just build it to the length of the 16-foot bed. But and it is, we ordered it as 8 foot wide. It is not 8'6". It is 8 foot wide, and that makes it just a little bit easier to get it into some tight places. But we're gonna add some stiffening. Try and stiffen up the, if I can hold the camera where you can see what I'm doing, because there's absolutely, you know, there's just the lumber and the log rack on it right now. It was 3,400 pounds on the trailer wheels when I went to go get the oak, before I put the oak on it. So, and it was, when we brought it home, we bought it without any decking material on it, and I believe it was 2,500 at the most when we brought it home without the decking on it. But the whole concept is, you know, most people, the permanent sides are not an issue. They're actually in some ways convenient. But when you have a sawmill and you have lumber, and you have lumber on a set of forks, and you want to set it onto a trailer without dumping the lumber into a pile, the permanent sides just don't work. They at all. Granted, you know, when we want to move sawdust, now we don't have sides. So we're working on a plan to make pockets. We were thinking about, you know, putting the pockets out here. But we're thinking now, because you got this nice flat surface on the inside, of mounting it to the inside. It would be a whole lot simpler than building the structural piece to go in here and all those custom cut pieces to go on the outside to make that work. Is a bit of a nightmare. Yeah, I'm gonna lose, so you know, the pocket would be there, and then the inside board would be here, versus if the pocket's out here, the board would be here. So, you know, I'm gonna be losing, I don't know, maybe 8 inches of width on the inside of the boards. I'm going to be losing about 8 inches of width. And if it doesn't work out, then we'll just have to go to the outside. Thought about just, you know, welding a plate of flat bar in here. Unfortunately, you know, we'd have to remove all these things to do that. Granted, I have thought about getting some pieces of rubber to go on this, because when you're empty going down the road, this thing plays jingle bells all the way down the road. But it definitely does what it needs to do. It's just, now that we got it, I've seen a few improvements we can make over time. But it is trail dust. Trail dust trailers of Boring, Oregon. It is two 7,000-pound axles with 235/16s. So that's one of the two sizes that you commonly find on a dually pickup truck, the 235/85 or the 215/85 16-inch that they never are supposed to. They have to run those tires because they're a dually. And then, you know, according to the capacity of the tires, I guess technically the capacity of the tires is less than what the axles are. But I've not had an issue with that before. We don't get a tremendous amount of hot weather. Very unusually cool climate compared to the rest of the country. So anyway, you just gonna lay around all day? Yeah, you. Huh? Yeah, laying down on the job. Is that your favorite thing to do? Yeah. Pet me. Yeah, you just want to be petted. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I figure it can hold just about for every foot of depth. It can hold a cord of firewood. Of course, if we put the pockets on the inside, that's going to affect its capacity. But only other thing that, you know, I guess I would mention is I would have liked it to have gone a little bit steeper. And if it was a 2 foot of overhang behind the pin, or 2'6" behind the pin, that would potentially make this thing go steeper when it's at full tilt. I don't think it quite goes to a 45, and I would have preferred, you know, that's another custom order thing. If you don't tell them to build it that way, they're just going to build it to their spec, which that's just the way it is. So this is definitely something for somebody to think about if they're getting a trailer custom built anywhere in the world, for that matter. Is if you don't tell them to do something, you're not going to have it done that way. And then you get it and you want it changed, they're going to make you pay because they're, you know, custom. And this is most likely still the only deck over dump trailer with no permanent sides that company has ever made. Trail Dust out there. That was one of the reasons we got it without the decking, is that was right at the height of extreme lumber prices. So we just got plenty of wood. Well, shoot, just look around me. You can see I'm in the land of rain and trees, and oh my gosh, I can actually see sunshine. It's a miracle. You know, I'm surrounded by trees that are probably pushing, you know, 120, 140 foot tall trees. So anyway, I think I'm going to call this good. That's my little walk around of our new trailer for